This is Michael J. Coyle of Metal Temple, and I am here with Mr. Dave from Anaal Nathrakh. How are you doing today, Dave?
All right, thanks, you.
I'm doing very well, thank you. So, what do you think of Damnation Fest so far?
It seems strangely familiar. I think I've played here 6 or 7 times before. So.
I don't keep track. I mean, I started coming here last year, you see.
Right.
So when Carcass headlined. But I did hear some rumors that at one point when you guys played, you actually caused a bit of destruction, if I'm correct in saying.
Really?
I heard some rumors that apparently at one of your last sets here, you guys were basically out of, like, the audience was really crazy over your sets.
Good.
Yeah, no mistake about that. So, with 2014 closing, I wanted to ask, what are the plans for Anaal Nathrakh now that the year is coming to a close?
Well, we've just had an album come out in the past week or so, and we've got some shows now up until the end of next week, and then it's kind of quiet for a little bit because we thought we'd leave a little time for the album to sink in with people, and then we'll be playing some more shows and stuff in the new year, and we're already starting to have ideas for what we'll do next in terms of a release, so it's all churning over.
So, as many people will know, you have a very vast history in the metal community, not only with Anaal Nathrakh, but also with Benediction. Through your years as a musician, a professional musician within the death metal to black and death metal ratio, as some people would say, how would you feel the journey has been for you as a singer?
Gosh, I don't know.
Well, of course, people know Benediction because there's a long legacy to that band. But I'm wondering, personally, as a fan here, what was it like creating Anaal Nathrakh through the years, from coming from Benediction? You're still in Benediction, aren't you?
Yeah.
And what was the process like creating Anaal Nathrakh for yourself?
Well, the thing with Benediction is, I've been in the band quite a long time now, but they had existed for a good long time before I joined.
Barney Greenway.
But originally, yeah, and then Dave for 8 years or so, I think. And a lot of their identity was formed very early on. You know, they were who they were a long time before I appeared. So with them, it would seem somehow dishonest or manipulative to try to change that. I have to live up to that, as opposed to try to make it do anything that it wasn't originally designed to do. That wouldn't be keeping the faith with what it is itself. So obviously with that's what I try and do. Whereas Anaal Nathrakh, it was very much, we're going to do whatever the fuck we want. A quite disdainful attitude, possibly even arrogant, although we're not really arrogant people, but the
strong
attitude.
Music.
And so that's kind of the opposite of Benediction in a way. You know, it's whatever we want to do, that's the right thing to do. So it's been, with Nathrakh, it's been more a process of figuring out what we can do, where we can go, so it's been a voyage of discovery almost. So it's two very, very different things, certainly in my head. I may as well be a different person in each one, as far as I'm concerned, and that's cool. 'Cause, sometimes you want something, sometimes you want something else, and you've got room for everything, given the combination of the two.
Yeah. So, when the band first started off, what were the main goals that you personally wanted to accomplish in Anaal Nathrakh? I mean, what was it that you wanted to prove this band could be?
Didn't want to prove anything. We have never really been interested in impressing anyone or making anyone realise anything or anything like that. It's always been what we found fulfilling to do, what we found satisfying.
It's pretty cool.
I suppose so. I mean, it might sound a little bit again, it might sound a little bit arrogant, but it's not intended in that way. I think most really really good bands, they have to satisfy themselves first and foremost. They're not trying to live up to something. So yeah, in terms of ambition, I really wanted to be able to see a CD on a rack in a shop. I think that I thought that would be nice.
I get what you mean.
And that's it. That's as far as it extended. We've never intended to do anything in order to be anything other than ourselves.
I actually get that, because in my own way I have that ambition myself, as being a fan of death metal from 10 to 11 to now. I always had that ambition myself, and I get what you mean. Like, it's that one thing you want to see, that's that prideful thing to see that all your hard work has come into that. And I mean, where I live in the Manchester area, where Nathrakh has actually got a strong following from a lot of my friends. I got a lot of friends here tonight who are sporting Anaal Nathrakh and are proud to wear it, and I can see why, because this band is a very strong combination of different elements, if I'm correct in saying,
right?
Like your own idea of what you wanted us to be. So, is there any plans for a UK tour at some point to support this new record?
Possibly. I mean, we'll see what happens. To an extent, that's what we're doing at the moment. I mean, this is our 4th day out at the moment.
Right.
We played shows the past 3 nights, and then next week we've got a show in London as well.
Oh yeah.
And then we've got a load of foreign shows as well lined up. So yeah, to an extent we've already done it a bit, but we'll probably do more. We're looking to do more gigs in the new year, but we'll see what comes up. We don't really like doing things in a formulaic sort of. We've got an album out, therefore we will do 20 dates in the next 2 weeks. No, fuck it. We'll see what happens.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's organised in advance, but try to have a bit of spontaneity about it. And the gigs that we've done, obviously this is a pretty well-known place, but the gigs that we did leading up to this were in Plymouth, Milton Keynes and Gloucester. Those aren't places that bands go to quite.
That's right. It's rare that a lot of bands actually play this place, unless of course they're doing a full-length kind of all-around tour. Let's go off topic here. It's like with Steve Vai, a person I admire a lot. He did a UK run one part, and then he did the unknown parts later on. So that's pretty. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's actually awesome to see a band that can actually play the parts that nobody pays attention to. Like, you never see a lot of gigs happening down in let's see here. I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to think of the place. That'll come to me. But either way, it's actually pretty cool to see that, because that shows that you're paying attention to those parts, and the fans can actually really take that.
I hope they can. Yeah. And to us, it's good to do something a bit different. That's all. To find out what else there is in the world.
So with the new album's writing process, what influence?
Could I just stop you for 1 second there, mate? I need to speak to Mick. I've seen he's finished his interview. Sorry, just
no problem.
Mick, just had a phone call off Jay. Apparently there's a big fuck up with the merch. He really needs to speak to you. I have no idea. But I told him I'd pass a message on. So there you go. Sorry, mate. Carry on.
No, don't worry about it. So with the new record, what inspirations and influences did you take in creating this?
None, really. We tend only to think within ourselves, if you know what I mean. We don't really look at stuff outside of what we're doing, because then you're always going to be chasing the original idea that somebody else had, rather than just coming up with your own. So yeah, we didn't really take any influences. We did have a bit more of electronic stuff this time around, but it's not like it's an electronic album. It's built into the stuff. It still sounds like us.
I get it. Like you took elements from that and you put it into the album.
Yeah, exactly.
To make it a bit different.
Yeah, but it's still being incorporated into the appropriate whole, as opposed to becoming some kind of hybrid or anything like that.
So I've always wanted to know the name Anaal Nathrakh. What does it mean?
Literally, I believe it means serpent's breath. We just took it from a film. We like it. Right. Some bloke says it in the film. Yeah, we'll call the band that.
That's
Because to be perfectly honest, band names are largely irrelevant. Of course, look what I brought these.
A strong boat.
Bottle of Jack as well. There's no bottle of Jack there either. I don't know. I've been down here.
Don't worry about it. It's a big party, this festival.
I know her well in the first place. I wouldn't just talk like that to someone who's working.
You gotta enjoy yourself,
Yeah. Well, you need to.
At least it shows that you're nice and relaxed. At least, loosened up. That's a great thing.
Loosened up and a bit mental. But it's a film. Mick picked it, and we both really like the film. So will that do? Because I don't think band names matter very much. They might matter initially when you first hear about what's that band called.
Like Black Sabbath when they actually got their name from a film as well. It's spontaneous and random, but it's also something special because it's like from a thing with me. You watch a film so many times and you never hear it, and suddenly it just dings when you're trying to find that one thing you want.
Maybe so, yeah. But also, what is a Metallica? What is one?
That's a good point.
Gives a fuck. It doesn't matter what one is because that word refers to the band.
Exactly.
That's what it means in your head. What is it? The prodigy, someone who excels at something. No, prodigy is a dance music band.
Or Slayer, someone that slays something. Exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty much irrelevant, the meaning of the term. After a while.
Yeah. That's actually a very good point. I will say. So let me think here. When you first became a musician, what were your main influences into becoming a musician? I mean, for what you've done in Benediction to Anaal Nathrakh, what's made you the musician you are today to begin with?
No idea. I mean, I used to listen to a lot of stuff. I used to listen to old Swedish death metal and stuff like that.
Like Entombed and...
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I knew I could make a similar noise. I knew I could have a go. But I was growling at dogs when I was 6. So
born of a growl.
Yeah. So I couldn't really give you a list. The music I listened to at the time, yeah, probably, and it was a lot of that kind of stuff, and the early, what I call black metal. Aficionados would call it second wave of black metal, but the old
you mean the people that say that Deicide inspired the second wave that brought Emperor and
Well, no, they would tend to say that the original first wave was Venom, maybe a bit of Merciful Fate, maybe
Black
a bit
Widow.
of Celtic Frost and stuff like that. Whatever, I don't really care. Yeah, there you go.
I love a bit of Celtic Frost.
But yeah, real black metal, as it seems to me. Stuff that I was listening to that when I was a teenager and things, and I suppose that had an influence, But it's pretty much typically what you'd expect. I would have thought.
It's the same with me actually, because I grew up listening to bands like Obituary and Benediction.
So did I.
and the fact is, coming from a fan perspective again, your work for Benediction to Anaal Nathrakh actually inspired me to want to become a death metal singer.
Okay.
I actually have my own band now with my friends, my best friends, and your vocal style actually made me want to go further with it, like see if I can make my own style of it. And
cool.
That's why I actually jumped at the opportunity to actually interview you, man, because it's a real honor.
Thank you.
So, what would you say has been the most important part of your career as a musician? What have you accomplished that you feel has been that one part for you?
There is no one part like that, I don't think. Because again, it's like what you were saying before about what you want to achieve. There's no external barometer for that kind of thing. Doing something that I thought was the right thing to do. That's the best bit. Not being able to say I did this gig or anything like that. Because I don't care what I can say. I care what I've managed to get out more than it being some kind of external measure, and that's because the obvious sort of next question would be advice. That would be the advice I'd give to anyone: do what you think's right. Don't do anything else. It's pointless.
And finally, do you have any words for the fans listening out there?
2 very simple words. Thank you. If you're a fan of stuff we've done, thanks. That's pretty much all I can say. You know, it means a lot to us that people would get into what we do, but that's about it.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Dave. It's been a real pleasure to actually interview you.
It's all right. Thank you, mate.
This has been Michael J. Coyle from Metal Temple, and stay tuned for more.